All right. I guess I'll start with it's so much that went on. All right, so new document came out in the Lil Durk case. Y'all know I am not about to sit here and read all of this, okay? However, it's a key point I did want to talk about because we, like I said, everything we're discussing today goes together in some way. We just was discussing, No Jumper host Jaleese bringing up federal investigations on No Jumper. Now we're going to take it over from No Jumper being under federal watch to DJ Akademiks being under federal watch. And you may be like, what? Well, let me give you the key points into this document. It was an 18-page document that was filed on yesterday. All right. For those who would like the full breakdown, make sure you go over to my Patreon. This document is available for your leisure to read as long as you're a member of my Patreon. Also, yeah. So the key allegations in this again, Durk allegedly led OTF, Only the Family, a Chicago-based organization that engaged in violence at his direction. Okay. Prosecutors say he placed bounties on rivals, including one known as TB, which is Quando Rondo, after the killing of his associate DB in 2020, which is King Von. In August 2022, Durk allegedly financed and directed 6 hitmen to travel to LA, stalk TB, and execute a shooting at a gas station that killed Lil Pop, not the intended target. Durk allegedly tried to flee the country on a private jet with his co-conspirators when his co-conspirators was arrested. Motion to dismiss. Durk claimed he was being prosecuted unfairly based on his rap lyrics, not real evidence. The government responded by issuing a second superseding indictment that removed all reference to lyrics and emphasized that criminal acts, not creative expression. Why is that important in the summary? Because I told y'all, I felt like when we broke down the second superseding indictment, I told y'all I felt like they're like, hey, we still got a grand jury to bring charges even after we took out the stuff that the defense is saying wasn't accurate. So they basically said it again in this motion. And so, now the government's position in this is the motion is moot because the lyrics were removed from the indictment. Regardless, the motion lacks merit because the indictment is based on Durk's alleged leadership, planning, financing of the murder plot, not his music. The government opposes releasing grand juries transcripts citing concerns about witness intimidation and safety due to alleged threats made by Durk and OTF affiliates. Of course, they're going to say that. They could be telling the truth or they could be capping, but that's going to be a given to say that. All right, so the final request for the government is that they urge to deny Durk's motion to dismiss and his request for grand jury materials, asserting that the case is grounded in substantial evidence of violent criminal conduct, not protected speech. Now, they say all that, but in this, well, let's go up. All right, they bring up a popular podcast. As you can see, it says that a claim that the defendant himself seemed to admit during an interview on a popular podcast. They're saying that Lil Durk admitted to having something to do with Lil Pab's death. And as you can see here, it says Lil Durk's realest interview ever. Last interview on Off the Record with Akademiks. DJ Akademiks video clip available. And if you copy and paste that, it's going to take you over here to this link right here, right? Now, it says timestamps 2:23:36 to 2:24:25. I brought it back to 2:18. I want to start from right here. Let me move this over to this side of the screen, though. All right, so we're going to listen to it.
I'm about to play video.
I'm screaming in my phone, making my battery die. What the fuck? Bro,
when you seen this video, I want to hear your direct reaction.
I'm gonna tell you the real shit.
I want to hear your direct reaction.
Camera go off. Oh, camera.
Okay, here we go. Okay, when you seen that, like, yo, hey. By the way,
when I was saying that,
you never seen this.
No, when I seen that,
Yeah,
I'm like, why the fuck you said my name, bro? Fucking up my money. I'm gonna take, man. Listen, I'm telling you, like, no man.
you challenged 6ix9ine to a boxing match. You know what people said? You would challenge.
I don't take them, huh?
They said you wouldn't challenge YoungBoy. That's a fact. That's what they said. That's what the Twitter people say. Like I be watching.
His fan base.
Yeah, they be like, yo, yeah, he challenged the right one because he wouldn't challenge. Like, obviously, I know the issues ain't that deep. And me personally, I don't think you want him hurt. I hope. I hope. I don't know if that's true. I hope. Would you? Are you praying? Would you? Would you?
Well, I'd beat ass. You tripping?
Would you? If he's like, all right, well, I got 50 million too. Let's us box.
I don't play with people like that.
What's the difference between 6ix9ine and him, man? When you say you box 6ix9ine,
because your friend killed my friend.
All right.
That's what I tell you.
Okay, you're right about that. Just fucking
6ix9ine. I want like if he was here, you could tell him pull up. I would beat his ass bad off camera just so you.
I don't want to be contributed to no violence. I'm one person. I don't want nobody to get hurt and then be like, Ak set this up. No way.
So you wouldn't rather knuckle up?
No. What I'm saying is that I wouldn't invite either of you to any location where I know there's going to be violence, even if y'all agree to it. I don't want that on my conscience.
No, I wouldn't pull up and do nothing to him. Like I won't shoot him. I won't do nothing to him. I'm telling you this.
To 6ix9ine or
6ix9ine, not the other little boy. What's the difference between 6ix9ine and the shorty?
Are you trolling me?
I'm asking
you. Well, like YoungBoy, like a lot of people fear him, and also
a lot of who?
He has a reputation in Baton Rouge, bro. Come on now.
Chief Keef got a reputation in Chicago.
Not to like
how?
My nigga. Okay, all right. I'll give you. And again,
because
I know 6ix9ine is gonna see this, but this is just
I don't care about. I don't care who's here. I'm talking about who else.
I'm gonna give you the difference.
Who out?
When YoungBoy came in the game, when he came in the game, he came in the game off charges of doing a drive-by. He was a kid who, no matter what, he was out there doing.
Chief Keef shot the police. Chief Keef shot the police.
Yeah, Chief Keef was like that.
Okay. What did you tell him? What did you say?
That's what I'm trying to say. That's the difference between YoungBoy and 6ix9ine. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
hey, bro, I'm out. I'm finna be outside every day this summer.
You know one thing I learned in this whole thing?
He don't cross my mind out once.
Well, he's on house arrest, so
you got a voice. You screaming at your phone, so I will need somebody hear you and do whatever for you.
Why'd your tour go to New Orleans? You're not trolling him, right? You just
no, it's money.
I feel like you about the money, but I feel like you're a troll too, man. Like you're a gangster troll.
No, I'm a human being.
All right. Pay attention to the flow of this. Now, mind you, in about 1 minute, it's going to be to where the feds is saying he admits to being a part of Pop's death. Okay, so they're talking about trolling and all that. So pay attention. Let's go ahead.
Like you know how to pick with people. You're the worst type of person. You see, at least with a nigga like 6ix9ine, he's like like he's clearly making fun of you. You like
I ain't gonna lie, like I be dead serious, like I be dead serious. Like that's why I try not to like to do too much. Cause like I be dead serious, and it's like the people around me is even worse than me. So it's like that's why I said the situation. I was like, I'll be the one to be like, man, I'm gonna take a picture of Soulja Boy and be funny. If I want that type of guy, it would have been like, then they would have whooped his ass. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Like, I don't take that man serious. The man did not do nothing wrong. The man friends did. Crown Wana got his ass whooped. He was there.
He didn't get beat up.
Huh?
Do you get triggered by the
pull up Floyd Mayweather? I mean, pull up on.
Oh yeah. Do you get triggered by the
beat
slide?
the shit out of this little ass, man? What
you
you
get
talking
triggered
about?
by the slide for Vaughn comments? Still, I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mention a song. They be like, they be saying slide for Vaughn. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, them songs is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing them comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why.
All right. So that's the part. I'm gonna finish playing what happens after, but that's the part that the feds. What up, Pat G? Okay. So that's the part that they're saying, like, hey, that's look. Hold on, what's it?
We had Mickey Truth.
Who is this? You got Mickey Truth kicked out.
Shout out Mickey.
Let's get one thing clear. This your girl, Mickey Truth.
That's what they quoted. We hear though. Might be in the water. We hear though. Okay, listen. Now, before he said it, they're talking about basically how Durk trolls, right? So that was the conversation before he said it. So now let's see what they go into after he said it. Because to me, all of it makes sense. Like all of it is important if you're going to use it as evidence. What was the conversation before? What was it when it happened? And what was the conversation after if you're going to use it? That's just how I feel about it. Okay. Because looking at just that part, you would allude that that's what he was talking about. But let's see if we come to the same conclusion after we hear what was said afterwards.
Yeah, though. We different in Iraq.
I feel like you're speaking in parables. I'm trying to like decode it a little bit, but it's
no, we have nothing to do with nothing. I'm saying that's like me just claiming something I want to.
Okay. I feel like you was troll right there. No,
I never troll him. He got beat up too bad. He got his ass whooped. We had it already.
So you're not condoning more violence continuing.
For what? Everybody you telling me about don't matter.
Yeah, like I feel like I can't tell if you have a good poker face. All right, man.
Everybody you naming is album sales.
Well, all right. I get what you're saying, but you know what somebody's gonna say? Yeah, that's cute, whatever you're saying, but the actual person who killed Vaughn is a little timid. He's chilling. He's just hanging out.
Well,
yeah, that's what they're gonna say. They're gonna be like,
where?
In Alabama, Albuquerque, something like that. Savannah, Georgia.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Hey.
All right. So they go from talking about trolling. He made the comment. Then he goes into basically saying he would never troll Quando Rondo. He got his. And when Akademiks asked about Lil Tim, he said he don't be outside. So when you put it all together, do y'all think Lil Durk just admitted to having something to do with Pop's death, or is he trolling? Because he said he utilized Chicago. We different in Iraq. That's what had me think like, as far as his comment could have been a troll, not per se implicating himself in it. That's what I took from it. What y'all took from it. Blue said, "Oh, buddy, FBIB tried to tell us in his Vladimir interview when 2 of O Block 6 arrest video was never shown because the Fed's informant was with them. Lord's gonna eat that." Nah, listen, none, and I said this before. None of the O Block 6 arrest videos for the murder of FBG Duck has been released. None. None. We have never seen none of them get arrested for that. The video of is it C thing? C thing, that was not for the murder. That was for a different case. So we have never seen any of the O Block 6 arrest videos. That's facts. So yeah, he was capping. Which we already know. You know, we didn't see his arrest videos up, but nah, none of the O Block 6 arrest videos came out. And then another thing, Moa was arrested by himself, I believe. I don't even think he was with nobody. That was the crazy part. I don't even think he was with nobody. He was at the airport though. I do know he was at the airport, but I don't believe he was with anybody. Don't quote me on the with anybody part. But as far as just the arrest videos, none of them has been out. We have never seen none of them get arrested for it. All right. So do y'all think this is good evidence for the government to use? I personally, I feel like in short vision, it could be, you know what I'm saying? It could be in short form, meaning on June 2nd, it's possible, but I don't think just that gonna hold up in court. That's not gonna be enough. And then you can tell this is an ongoing investigation. Ongoing. Because every time they come up with new stuff. Ongoing investigation. So all the blogger YouTubers that want to, you know, a position in law enforcement, now is your time to shine. Put your videos together because they definitely are still looking, okay? All right, let me see. I don't feel like reading none of this. Like, that's the thing. Hold on. I'm going to go over to Sid Nash because I think he broke down a part because I don't feel like reading it, to be honest. Let's see. Oh, shit. Let's go listen to that good talking ass Sid Nash, okay? We're not going to listen to all of them. All of it. It says, fans allege Lil Durk wants witness family killed with fourth bond motion. Let me see if he get into it. I think he normally read it. Yeah, he reads it. But damn, I just really want to hear that part. I don't want to hear the whole thing. Let me see if I can find the part I want to talk about. Hold up.
Hooey. This is early hours of October 24th, 2024. Federal and local law enforcement executed multiple search warrants at locations associated with members of OTF in Chicago area and arrested the 5 charged co-conspirators. See criminal complaint at 4. Soon after law enforcement executed the warrants, the FBI learned that defendant had been booked on 3 international flights, including at least one.
They don't prove that to be kept. So let's go a little further down. Let's see.
Cleared the co-conspirators that he would pay a bounty for the killing of TB, who was suspected to be involved in DB's killing. And when defendant and his co-conspirators learned that TB was in Los Angeles, defendant set in motion his plan to execute TB, including by causing and financing his co-defendants to travel to Los Angeles to track, stalk, and kill TB, including one co-conspirator who traveled with defendant on a private jet to Los Angeles area. Count 1B, 1 through 3, overt acts 1 through 4, 6. These allegations make clear that defendant used his power, his wealth, and his control over OTF to exact daily revenge on his rival. Accordingly, the grand jury's return of SS1 containing all of these material allegations and none of defendant's lyrics moots his motion to dismiss the FS1. Defendant fails to show any misconduct or prejudice.
That's number two. But even if the motion was not moot, it is. Defendant's accusation of government misconduct and resulting prejudice is baseless. First, the FS1's allegation that defendant commercialized SR's death was neither false nor reckless. Defendant has repeatedly used his pulpit to promote violence, publicly rapping about paying for murders, hunting opponents with machine guns, bounty hunters in Beverly Hills, and other lyrics that have a striking similarity to the modus operandi used to kill.
Play with me like I ain't worse. Trying to gossip other blocks like y'all ain't said my name first.
My bad, I didn't realize I was on mute while I was talking just now. Let's see what it says. Like how it plays out in the song. Okay. Oh Lord, this is so much going on. Cause they say they're not using lyrics, but they using lyrics. It's crazy. We're gonna continue.
SR. Whether or not defendant's lyrics about greenlighting a rival were written before or after SR's death, the release of the song after the murder gave defendant's fans fodder to associate him with the murder, a claim that defendant himself seemed to admit during an interview on a popular podcast. As to prejudice, defendants claim that the lyrics were one of the only two pieces of evidence.
Hold. Listen, the government is fucked up. Because I just thought about something, right? This premiered January 4th, 2022. That was way before Lil Pop's death. So, like, I get they're saying, like, even though these lyrics and stuff is not about Lil Pop, it's the fact that he raps about it. But I don't feel like that should be used against them unless you can put a actual murder to the song. It's just, expression at that point. Like, how can you say, because like without knowing when this dropped, I would have thought like, oh shit, okay, makes sense. But this was out way before he died. I think Lil Pop died in August of 2022. This came out in January. I feel like they are doing too much reaching. Too much reaching. I ain't gonna lie. That's too much of a reach. Too much of a reach. That's crazy. That's crazy. They're gonna use it to show gang ties. But the thing is, right, he's not even charged with a RICO yet or none of that. He's not, like, he's charged with conspiracy, meaning he's part of a group that conspires to do something. Cool. They don't even have to do the gang shit, right? And this don't even prove the gang part. This just, again, says that I guess he's the person that will call the hits, and they do it this way. And that the similarities of what he's saying in the song matches the similarities to this crime. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the Chicago case gonna do the same thing, because in that, you can probably relate it to the same thing. So it's just like, it's still like the gang aspect don't even have nothing to do with it. Because even if they was trying to prove the gang ties, that song doesn't prove gang ties. He's not saying or repping OTF do this, or Booney Mo will do this, or OTFDD will do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just, right. They trying to show a pattern. But again, his defense team has already said this was his expression through his music. his environment. Like, it's not no secret what the hell goes on in Chicago. You know, you can just pull up local news article and see about the murders and stuff. So yeah, they reaching. You know, they definitely reaching. You know, they don't play for it. He throwing up gang signs, but you're right. Yeah, because they're not mentioning what he's throwing up, right? They're not the same thing with the O Block Rico, right? They was into the chains, like all of them wore the O Block chains. They haven't mentioned no chain shit yet. Now, I'm not saying they're not gonna mention it at the trial, but obviously they don't have enough to even put that together to have the gang aspect of it. That's one reason why they dropped the charges in Atlanta when they try to get them on the gang shit. That's crazy. We're gonna listen a little bit more of Seth Nash read this part, and then we're gonna move on.
That the first superseding indictment cited against him, docket 139 and P10, completely disregards and belittles the grand jury's findings in all three indictments that defendant was the organizer and leader of this calculated murder plot. See section 3(1). The FS1's single reference to defendant's lyrics and an introductory allegation caused no prejudice considering, one, the numerous material allegations that defendant directed this revenge killing, and two, the grand jury's confirmation when it returned the SS1 that defendant was charged for his murderous conduct, not his lyrics. The court should deny motion to dismiss. We'll go back to right here where it says, for example, defendant was featured on another artist song in which he raps, I don't want no niggas you catch. I want the one I paid for. Trolling ass, we shot your homie. Gucci Mane, rumors, Lil Durk, available at whatever the hell. Then he says right here, popping traffic. We in Cali ride through Beverly Hills with choppers, dying to see the oppas. Bounty hunters, we ready to crack that little bitch down to get her off. Although Scoon, his ass, does not appear to have been officially released by defendant. The lyrics are authentic as the government.
Pat said Vaughn also died. That was another reason Atlanta charge might have got dropped now. Listen, even if Vaughn dying had nothing to do with it. The alleged shooter in that case was Bezu. So even with Vaughn not being around, they could have still brought the charges on because, again, the victim identified Bezu as the shooter. So that's one thing that I was trying to tell y'all years ago. Like, even when the police report came out, but y'all know how the internet, they want to overlook that. So yeah, Vaughn dying had nothing to do with that case being dropped. The reason why the case was dropped was because the victim didn't corroborate. So if you don't have a victim corroborating or like giving information to it, like how can you proceed with it? So that's one reason why Bezu was the last one to get out. Also, remember, Bezu ain't get out till like a year after Durk and Vaughn's case was dropped because he was a alleged shooter. Yeah. Look, don't listen to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Learn something new every day. Bezu was the man. Okay, yeah. So that's ultimately why it went like that.
And sees the audio file from co-conspirators' cellular phone pursuant to a federal search warrant, which has been produced to the defense. See Bates Media 638. So the feds got unreleased Lil Durk music. And then it says, and this is funny as hell, because Akademiks, you accuse a couple of people of being the feds and getting people in trouble. But here we go right here. In May 2023, defendant appeared on a well-known podcast where he tactically admitted his involvement in the killing of SR, specifically after being asked about his rivalry with TB. Response to the interview's question about whether defendant was triggered by the Slide for Vaughn comments or reference to sliding or exacting revenge for OTF member DB's death, defendant coyly responded, for some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. Whew, and that's the reason y'all, for some odd reason, might be the water.
All right, so I will say this. I meant to say it earlier when we was talking about that part. I feel like that's, I know Lil Durk, like, damn, I shouldn't say that. I think he was definitely trolling on the aspect that the internet believed Lil Pop death was contributed to Bond's situation. That's my little opinion about that. But hold on, y'all. I was trying to do some background work while I was doing that. All right, so pretty much it don't seem. I feel like the strongest thing they're gonna have is just like they did in the O Block case. It's gonna be witnesses / snitches. That's gonna be what they got this phone about to die. Now, ultimately, come January 2nd, do Mickey True feel Lil Durk can get out? I'll be honest. It seems like they got the same evidence. If there's a loophole that the district judge can find to why the government was wrong for using one set of evidence or allegations for the first indictment, then switching it up for the second indictment, maybe. But I kind of feel like he's going to get denied again. Because it's kind of, and I know federal, state, sometimes they're different, but it just kind of reminds me of the YNW Millie situation where it sounds good, but ultimately, nah, it's not going to happen. But that's just me. I could be wrong.
And like I said throughout the video, that's my opinion. And if you don't like it, guess what?
I'm like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hold on, wait, before I go, y'all make sure y'all tap in with me to book your slot. A lot of y'all be hitting me up on Instagram and the email wanting to just talk about content, whether you're an up-and-coming content creator or somebody just got questions about cases or whatever. Book your consultation with me now. The information is on the screen. Hey, make sure you get your slot, because my slots be filling up fast.
This is the weakest, give a fuck about what they scream.
Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like,
I'm trying to conquer the world, coming from where I come from. Hey, this your girl Mickey Truth, #1 blogger in South Carolina.